In this video, these aren't the World War II films you were taught about in school. These are the forgotten tales, where courage clashed with chaos, and unsung heroes rewrote history. Brace yourself. These 10 hidden World War II movie gems will leave you speechless. Final Days, Bergen-Belsen, 1945. In the final collapsing weeks of Nazi Germany, British troops stumbled upon a scene more horrifying than any battlefield, Bergen-Belsen. This documentary tears away the veil of war glory and drops you into the raw aftermath of genocide. Soldiers expecting surrender instead found hell on earth. Piles of corpses, starving survivors, disease spreading faster than hope. Final Days, Bergen-Belsen 1945 doesn't sanitize or dramatize, it confronts. Using authentic footage shot during liberation and chilling survivor testimonies, the film reveals the absolute breakdown of humanity inside the barbed wire fences. No music swells, no dramatic speeches, just the silence of death and the disbelief of liberators trying to restore life. It's not a film for the faint-hearted, but it's one you'll never forget. The smell, the suffering, the vacant eyes, it stays with you. This isn't about war strategy or politics. It's about witnessing a truth too painful to ignore. If you think you've seen what World War II was, this hidden gem will make you realize how little you truly knew. The Cruel Sea, 1953. Beneath the thunder of naval cannons and crashing waves lies a war few talk about, the merciless Battle of the Atlantic. The Cruel Sea, 1953, doesn't glorify war, it strips it bare. We follow the crew of the HMS Compass Rose, not as untouchable heroes, but as ordinary men thrown into extraordinary hell. The enemy here isn't always the German U-boats, it's the ocean itself. The sea takes its own toll, and this film captures every drop of dread. One decision haunts the entire film, when the crew must choose between saving drowning comrades or striking a lurking enemy. The guilt never leaves them, and it won't leave you either. Jack Hawkins delivers a performance so grounded, you feel the salt and sorrow etched in his face. There's no glamour here, just oil-soaked decks, sleepless nights, and the relentless churn of waves over metal. This film quietly broke the mold of World War II cinema, exposing the psychological war beneath the surface. The Cruel Sea doesn't just show war, it makes you live inside it. Sophie Scholl, The Final Days, 2005. While the world burned in war, one young woman dared to fight with only her voice. Sophie Scholl. The Final Days isn't about bullets or bombs. It's about conviction, courage, and the terrifying cost of truth. Based on real interrogation records, the film follows 21-year-old Sophie, a member of the White Rose Resistance, as she's arrested, questioned, and ultimately sentenced to death by the Nazis for distributing anti-war leaflets. The intensity is unbearable, not because of action, but because of words. The camera lingers on her face as she challenges Nazi ideology with unwavering resolve, even as she knows death awaits. There are no dramatic escapes here, no last-minute rescues, just a chilling portrayal of moral strength in the face of tyranny. Julia Gentsch's performance is hauntingly powerful, embodying the quiet defiance of a soul that refuses to break. Sophie Scholl forces you to ask, would you have stood up or stayed silent? It's not just a film, it's a mirror. And once you watch it, you'll never forget the name Sophie Scholl. Escape from Sobibor, 1987. In the darkest corners of World War II, there were places built purely for death. Sobibor was one of them. But unlike most, this camp became the stage for something unthinkable, an uprising. Escape from Sobibor, 1987. Tells the true story of one of the largest prisoner escapes from a Nazi extermination camp, where over 300 inmates defied fate and made a run for freedom. The film plunges us into the unbearable routines of the camp, forced labor, executions, hopelessness, until whispers of rebellion begin to stir. Led by Soviet officer Alexander Petrovsky, portrayed powerfully by Rutger Hauer, prisoners orchestrate a coordinated, brutal escape plan. This isn't a story of easy victories, many paid with their lives. But it's a reminder that even in a place built to crush the human spirit, resistance can bloom. The tension builds like a drumbeat, each scene tightening like a noose. And when the moment comes, it's chaos, desperate, bloody, and unforgettable. Escape from Sobibor isn't just a war movie. It's a testament to courage where none should have existed. In Darkness, 2011. Beneath the sewers of Nazi-occupied Poland, a different kind of war was fought, one of survival, faith, and moral reckoning. In Darkness, 2011, tells the harrowing true story of Leopold Sosha, a Polish sewer worker and petty thief who unexpectedly becomes a reluctant hero. When he discovers a group of Jewish families hiding underground from the Nazis, he faces a gut-wrenching choice: turn them in for a reward or help them, risking everything. What begins as a paid favor slowly transforms into a test of his humanity. For over a year, he guides them through the filth, rats, and darkness, literally and emotionally. The film doesn't flinch from the brutality. It's grim, suffocating, and often hard to watch. But that's the point. In Darkness shows how light can still flicker in the most godforsaken corners. With incredible performances and claustrophobic realism, it explores what it means to do the right thing when no one is watching. It's not just a World War II story. It's a story about what makes us human. Cross of Iron, 1977. Forget glory. Forget honor. Cross of Iron, 1977. Rips open the romanticized view of war and exposes its brutal, bitter core through the eyes of German soldiers on the Eastern Front. Directed by Sam Peckinpah. This isn't your average World War II film. It's a grim, cynical, and blood-soaked descent into the madness of survival. At its center is Sergeant Steiner, played by James Coburn, a battle-hardened soldier who's seen too much and trusts no one. But when a new aristocratic officer arrives, obsessed with earning the prestigious Iron Cross, their clash becomes more dangerous than the Soviets closing in. The film's message is sharp and chilling. The real enemy isn't always across the battlefield. It might be standing right beside you. With explosive, unflinching combat scenes and moral decay dripping from every frame, Cross of Iron is both haunting and unforgettable. It's one of the few World War II films that dares to show German soldiers not as heroes, not as monsters, but as human beings trapped in a war that devours everything. This film doesn't ask for your comfort. It demands your reckoning. Son of Saul, 2015. Son of Saul is a gut-wrenching plunge into the darkest depths of the Holocaust, seen through the eyes of Saul Ausländer, a Hungarian Jewish prisoner in Auschwitz. Unlike most war films, this doesn't focus on sweeping battles or distant horrors. It traps you in the claustrophobic hell of the death camp. Saul is a Sonderkommando, forced to assist in the machinery of genocide, yet haunted by the desperate mission to give a proper burial to a boy he believes is his son. The film's brutal realism comes from its tight focus on Saul's perspective, using shallow depth of field to blur everything but his immediate world. It's a relentless experience. Silent screams echo in every frame. Son of Saul refuses to let you look away. The grotesque routine of death becomes a desperate fight for dignity and meaning amidst unimaginable horror. Winner of the Grand Prix at Cannes, this masterpiece is both a tribute and a condemnation, a searing reminder of humanity's darkest hour, told with an unflinching eye and a broken heart. The Great Raid, 2005. In the Pacific theater of World War II, amid jungles thick with danger and despair, a daring rescue mission unfolded that few remember. The Great Raid, 2005, brings to life the true story of the 1945 raid on the Cabanat 1 POW camp, where hundreds of American soldiers were held captive by the Japanese. Led by the fearless Lieutenant Colonel Henry Mucci, portrayed by Benjamin Bratt, this mission was a nail-biting race against time. The film plunges you into the jungle's oppressive heat, where every step could mean death, and every decision carries the weight of lives hanging in the balance. It's not just an action film. It's a tribute to strategy, courage, and brotherhood. The tension builds steadily as the soldiers face not only the enemy, but the unknown. The Great Raid is a reminder that heroism doesn't always make headlines, but its echoes resonate forever. For those who think they know World War II stories, this hidden gem offers fresh, gripping insight into sacrifice and survival. Never forget 1991. Never Forget dives deep into the enduring scars left by the Holocaust, focusing on the stories of survivors grappling with trauma decades after the war ended. This powerful TV movie reveals how the horrors of World War II didn't just vanish with the Allied victory. They lingered in minds, families, and communities. The story centers around a young Jewish woman whose family's painful past is resurfacing, forcing her to confront painful memories and the weight of inherited trauma. It explores the psychological battles fought long after the guns fell silent. Through intimate performances and emotional depth, Never Forget asks a difficult question. How do you live when the past refuses to let go? The film's strength lies in its quiet, heartfelt storytelling that refuses to let the victims' voices be forgotten. It's a sobering reminder that remembering history isn't just about dates and battles. It's about the human lives forever changed by it.